everybody, welcome to the final day of Vlognukah. I hope that you have enjoyed these 8 videos. I hope that you've enjoyed celebrating Hanukkah, if that's something that you do. And here we are, final one, on to the new year. With that in mind though, this video is all about why I'm not setting New Year's resolutions. But before we get into that, this dress is another one of the items that I rented from on loan, and I got it to be my New Year's Eve party at home outfit. So I wanted to still feel like I was gonna have a party and celebrate and have a good time, but I will most likely just be at home. But this is gonna be my party outfit. So I'm not making resolutions for 2021, and you don't have to either. And here are some reasons why. So I normally love making resolutions. I'm the kind of person who has a list of 10 things that I want to get better at, do more of, do less of, bucket list items for the year. It has just been a ritual of mine every year, and so far it has served me well. However, next year I do not think that it's going to serve me. The reason why I normally created resolutions was so that I could focus in on my values and create habits that aligned with my values, make myself a better person. And I always still believe that there is always room for improvement. And those can be some noble and useful reasons to make resolutions. We love that fresh start, that new year, new me vibe. But here's why not to make resolutions this year. I'm tired of self-improvement. It honestly is exhausting. It feels like self-improvement and the need to better ourselves and enjoy our lives more has just been commodified, and it feels like an extension of hustle culture. That isn't to say there are ways to do it in a way that are low pressure, that actually serve you, but I just need to step away for a year. I think I'm definitely leaning more towards the why don't we just all try to be better people all year round, and if something comes up at any time of year, just start doing that thing. If it brings you joy, if there's a habit that you're I need to stop that, or a new thing you're I want to start this thing, or I want to do more of that. Those are all fine, but I'm just personally feeling uncomfortable with the pressure to make a list at the beginning of the year. It feels kind of fake. Not that my previous attempts were fake, but that's just how it would feel to me this time. And on that note, don't force it. If there is nothing that immediately comes to mind, no new hobbies that you want to take up, no bad habits that you currently have that you want to get better at controlling or maintaining, if nothing is coming to mind, do not stress. Do not sit there with your blank list and go, what do I want my New Year's resolutions to be this year? If nothing is just jumping out at you, don't force it. Over the years of me making resolutions, I've had different life circumstances, and currently my life circumstances are very stable. I'm in a routine, nothing really changes other than global pandemic, but my actual day to day, and maybe I'm in even more of a boring routine because of the pandemic, but there isn't a whole lot on a practical level to me that needs changing, which I get is a very nice, privileged position to be in. But for me, I just kind of had to go what do I actually want to change? Nothing is coming to mind right now, but I am open to things coming to me as the year goes on. And there's always things in the back of my mind that I'm constantly working on that is just a constant work in progress. But I don't feel like I have to sit down at the beginning of the year and write it down. And that leads me on to my next point, which is you can just carry on with your 2020 resolutions. Take a look at the list you made at the beginning of the year, if that's something that you did, and scrap the things that you don't care about anymore, and have a look at the things that you're oh, actually, that one is still important to me. I think I want to continue that. And you don't need to make a big announcement about it, says the lady who always made big announcements about it. I'm speaking to myself here. For me, there's a couple of things on my 2020 resolutions list that I'm yeah, we'll just keep trying to do more of that, I don't need to do a whole shebang and write it out in my diary these are my 2021 resolutions, which honestly I used to love doing, love writing this shit out, love making videos about it, but I'm just meh. I'll I'll just keep trying. My fourth reason is to manage our expectations. And oh boy, has 2020 been a year in us learning to manage our expectations. And I know people say this every year when it comes to resolutions and how we go like full in on them and we should actually manage our expectations because we all end up failing by February because we didn't like accurately make resolutions that we could keep. But for me, one of the reasons why I'm not making any new resolutions is because everything is really up in the air right now. Vaccine is rolling out. Who knows when we'll be able to do stuff again? Who knows when I'll be vaccinated? Like, these are just things that I don't know. And I don't want to like write this entire list of things that I want to do and then maybe I don't get to do them, or maybe it won't be until like right at the end of 2021 when I get to experience these things. And so I'm just like taking every day as it comes. So I feel like I'm actually holding off on a lot of things that I do know I really want to do, like I'm desperate to do, but I am not setting those resolutions in January. I am not giving myself that potential heartbreak. And I know it feels like the beginning of the end. I can see the horizon, the light at the end of the tunnel. Like I can see this pandemic being over, like next year. But my little heart can't take it just in case it isn't, or just in case things go slower than expected. So instead of setting resolutions in January, I think I might, obviously depends, I will make this decision for myself when it comes to it. But when it looks like restrictions will be eased and people can move about their lives normally again and we've got most of us vaccinated, then I want to make some like post-pandemic resolutions, post-pandemic bucket list. And I think those things will be really basic. Like I want to do some traveling. I definitely want to go to Ireland to visit my friend Melanie and her baby. The last time I saw Mel, she wasn't pregnant and now she has a baby boy. Like what? I want to host dinner parties and board game nights with my friends. Like I just want to hang out with people. I want to go to the theatre. I want to buy all of the West End tickets and just go and see so many musicals. But I'm not writing this shit down. It's like in the back of my head, I'm just like, one day. And then when it feels more appropriate and when it feels like I can actually manage my expectations, like I have more information, then I will make some plans. Now, some of you might be like me and you're just like sacking off New Year's resolutions this year. Maybe you sack them off every year, but there will be some of you who are really keen to make New Year's resolutions this year. And that is also totally fine. Because of the year that 2020 has been, New Year, January, it's still like such a great opportunity for that fresh start feeling. The only thing that I would be wary of is that January is not going to look that different to November and December. If you're going to be making these resolutions, just do it with that in mind. Like January, February, like who knows how many more months are still going to be cold, are still going to be dark. You're probably still not going to be able to hang out with people inside your homes. Probably. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I'm also not the government. But that comes with managing expectations. So if you are going to set any resolutions, just make them COVID lockdown friendly. And another reason why it might be good to make resolutions this year is because you can take lessons that you learned in 2020 into 2021. You know, everyone's like, the things that I learned in lockdown. As corny as that sounds, each of us has probably learned at least one thing about ourselves in the wake of everything and how we reacted to it in terms of our relationships, our mental health. Doesn't necessarily mean we learned good things about ourselves, but we were all put into extraordinary circumstances and we all reacted differently to it. And so there's maybe some things to take away there and apply to 2021. Me, for instance, I realized that I exercise weirdly, like my exercise habits. I cannot keep an exercise routine for more than a month. I just move from thing to thing. At the beginning of lockdown, I was all about Pilates music videos. A month later, I moved on to learning the dance routine to Pop Stars by KDA. And then I spent an entire month running a 5K every other day. And now I'm super into Ring Fit. And I just cannot keep an exercise routine. I just move from one to the other. Granted, A lot of the time it moves with the weather. So I was running outside when it was beautiful, and now I just don't want to run in the cold and in the dark. Oh, and then there was also a good few weeks when I was doing like hit dance videos on YouTube as well. So I've just had all sorts of different fun with my exercise this year, but I just can't seem to stick to one. And I don't know if that's a problem, but it's something that I've learned about myself. So if in the future I do ever make exercise resolutions, then I just need to remember that about myself. Another thing that I noticed that I want to talk about is I see a lot of people calling 2020 a write-off, and I totally get where that's coming from. People are saying like, this year didn't happen, it doesn't count. A lot of people are feeling really far behind, and behind could mean in life, in work, in school, in university. And maybe I have a weird perspective on this, but for me, 2018, the year that I was in hospital for a month, had to have emergency surgery, and then was recovering, and then had to have another emergency surgery, and then was recovering from that. That year to me felt like a wasted year. It felt like a write-off. I didn't want it to count. Like, I felt so far behind. But for everybody else around me, 2018 was a normal year, and they were going about their lives, and I felt so far behind because I had at least 7 or 8 months of being really ill and recovering from surgery. And whilst I have some of those feelings around 2020 being a write-off, I just keep thinking that at least this year I'm not alone in it. And that's really helped me, and I don't know if that perspective will help you in your evaluation of this year, but we really haven't been alone in what has happened this year. And as someone who has gone through a wasted year by themselves, it's kind of nice having we're all in this together. Obviously, would have been great if this year had never happened. Like, obviously not having a global pandemic would have been better than having one, but I'm just doing that like positive spin thing. And you can take it or you can leave it, that's fine. And quickly before I end this video, I was talking about the New Year's resolutions thing on Instagram, and these are some of the things that people had to say, and I just wanted to share some other people's thoughts about it as well. It's like this year didn't happen for me, so a resolution will be to notice the year going by. I totally get that. Sometimes we just need to mark the beginning and end of something. Just trying to be happy whatever happens. Always a good approach. I'll try to make them corona friendly, if that makes sense. Definitely makes sense. Way too scared to have any expectations about next year, to be honest. Yeah, true. Although I will say that people sent these in before we had the news about the vaccine, so maybe some people's thoughts will have changed about the expectations. No resolutions for 2021 in case it throws us a curveball like 2020. So true. Even if we expect the pandemic to be over next year, who knows what else 2021 is going to throw at us? We cannot predict. Have a year off. Yeah, take a year off making resolutions. Or just have a whole year off, whatever. If there's anything I want to do enough, COVID permitting, I figure I can start now. Yeah, that goes with all year round and all kinds of resolutions. If there is something that you discover you really want to do, like halfway through a year, like go for it. My resolution for everyone is to be kinder on ourselves. 2020 has been tough. Thank you. Yes. I really needed to hear that. Oh my God. Yeah. Still making them, but making them much smaller and realistic for pandemic life. Yes. Finally figuring out how to be good to myself and to be productive at the same time. Yeah. And I think one of the things that we forget is that resting actually helps us be more productive. However, we shouldn't think of rest as a thing to do in order to be productive. I do not believe in reframing rest as just a tool for more productivity. No. Rest needs to come down to pleasure, self-care, looking after yourself, being kind to yourself, just for those purposes, because those things are all really valuable and great. And then as a side effect, it just so happens that you'll wake up the next morning and be better at work. So yeah, there we have it. Do let me know your thoughts on New Year's resolutions in the comments. Are you going to be setting any for 2021? Are you not? How do you feel about managing expectations for next year? Thank you so much for watching. If you have missed any episode of Vlognukah, there is a playlist down below in the description and you can check out all of the videos. And this is my last video of 2020. I am taking those 2 weeks off and we'll be back with more videos from the first-ish week of January. So I hope that you have a great break. I hope that you are able to rest and enjoy yourself, whatever that looks like for you. I certainly will be trying to do that too. Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We did it. We got through 2020. I'll see you in 2021.